So, I recently read an article saying that 72% of developers feel that Steam has a monopoly over PC gaming. And while that might be true, it's also for a good reason. No other platform has the kind of service that Steam provides. Steam puts more games on sale than the other platforms combined. You've got Epic Games, GOG, and all the other like random launchers or whatever that want you to get their game through their actual website. At the end of the day, Steam just provides a better service for the player. And that's what it boils down to. And that's why they hold a monopoly. They hold that monopoly because nobody else is creating anything anywhere near as good. You might have like a small subset of people that are going to disagree with that, and that's fine. Have whatever opinion you want, but the majority of people are going to tell you, if you ask them, like, hey, how do you get your PC games? Oh, I get it on Steam. Oh, I'll just wait for it to go on Steam. If it's an Epic Store exclusive, then yeah, most people don't even want to bother with it. Like, eventually that'll go up, that'll end, and they'll put it up on Steam. Even before, when we were seeing all these AAA publishers put out their own individual launchers for their games, well, now all of a sudden they're putting it on Steam. Why? Because that's where the majority of people are. That's where most PC gamers go to get their games. It's where they've always gone because Steam just provides the best service. Another thing that kind of struck me with this whole topic of conversation was that these developers are just upset because they want to provide a service on a more broad spectrum. And as I kind of dove into the article, I noticed about halfway through the article, it mentions that this survey was only done from C-suite level developers and up, meaning this was a survey that was issued to upper management and suit level, like white collar, sitting it behind the desk kind of developers. Yes, they're going to be mad that Steam has a monopoly over this because they don't look at it from the consumer point of view. They're looking at it from an executive point of view. And therein lies the main problem. If you ask your random Walmart American or just average Joe Schmo if they care that Steam has this monopoly over, PC games, they're going to tell you they don't care. They just want to be able to buy their game. They just want to play their game and have fun with it. That's all they care about. And I hate to tell you, but with as many sales as Steam runs throughout the year, no other platform is coming close to touching that. Steam runs more sales than anybody else. And while yes, GOG, they do have, the you buy it, you own it, you do whatever you want with it kind of mentality. And while yes, that's kind of nice, but the amount of people that actually care about that is very minuscule. Like realistically, most people don't care about that kind of thing. They just want to be able to buy the game, play it, da-da-da. And for the most part, Steam does that. They already provide that service. They allow you to download it, play it. If you don't want it on your system, you can delete it. And with the, Steam's cloud saves, if you delete it and you reinstall it, your saves are right there. You just continue back from where you left off. And anymore, most games save through like some kind of server, especially for live service games. They're saving over some kind of server or whatever. And so it's not even anything on your end. It's client side. So realistically, you don't have anything to lose. Now, obviously, the only thing you'd have to lose is if you get your account banned or, your account gets hacked or whatever. Basically steals your library of 5,000 games that you bought but you never played. There is that caveat. But for the most part, you really don't have anything to worry about, especially if you're just a normal person just buying games for fun, playing your games. So, and the other thing is that most of these other platforms have exclusivity deals, where it's only available on Epic for a certain amount of time. It's only available on this. Before recently, where, you have to download our specific launcher to play our game. I don't want to. I want to be able to play my game where I play all my other games. I just want the one place to play my games. I shouldn't have to download 20 million launchers to play my games. Therein lies the other issue, is that now all these other launchers are now integrating with Steam, and now they're making all their games available on Steam because they realize this was a stupid idea. Nobody's really playing them on these half-assed, shitty launchers that these companies put out. I can honestly tell you now, I don't know if it's me personally or if other people have had this issue, but I feel like Epic Games is just a very shitty launcher. It takes forever to even load up. Sometimes it can be confusing to find stuff on their store, and just the user experience as a whole is just horrendous for me personally. Now, if you have it and you like it, more power to you. You do you. But for me, I just feel that Steam is a much better user experience and it provides a better service. Now, on the other side is that Steam does a much better job at pushing indie and AA titles to people that wouldn't normally play these kind of games. If you were to go and look at, popular new releases or trending games or upcoming or whatever, you will see Steam, post a lot of indie titles, and you'll see a lot of those indie titles kind of like reach the top of the list very quickly because they get more eyes on them. Steam does a good job at pushing these newer titles or these newer developers or indie titles, whatever you want to call it. Steam does a good job at getting them in front of people that wouldn't normally see them. And these other platforms don't really have that. They don't push these things. And a lot of that is because these indie titles aren't going to push it to something like Epic or GOG or whatever. These indie developers or these upcoming development teams, they're going to put their stuff on a platform where they know there's a lot of eyes on it. And even Steam's overall user count continues to go up year after year. And as it continues to go up, yes, more people are going to fluctuate to Steam and they're going to use these other services less because they're not doing anything to better themselves. Another reason why I don't take this survey all that seriously is obviously because this is coming from your higher up, upper management, suit at the top floor of the building, is kind of given this opinion. The problem with that opinion is it doesn't really mean anything because you have companies like Ubisoft, who is constantly producing nothing but garbage, giving the worst fucking hot takes anybody's ever seen. And then you have companies like Activision that is constantly just pumping out yearly slop that doesn't really change or do anything different. It's basically the same goddamn game every year because they just want to make as much money as possible. They don't want to make anything good. And it boils down to that mentality of they're doing what the investor wants them to do versus what the actual consumer wants. And when you prioritize your investor over your consumer, you might as well kiss your business or your company goodbye, because without your customer base to buy your product, your investors aren't going to be very happy because nobody's buying your product. But it all boils back down to these AAA titles or these bigger budget companies, they have become so out of touch with what the consumer wants, with what is actually going to attract more money into their business. If you really want to make more money, yes, you can monetize the shit out of a game. And yes, whales will spend money on your game. But when you keep pumping out shit after shit after shit, and eventually these whales are like, hey, I just bought this last year. Now granted, these whales take a while. They're not as smart as the rest of us. They look at a $500 skin and say, oh, that's cool, I want that. But when you sell the same skin for the same price, or you up the price for the same skin, after about the 20th time of buying the same skin, they finally come to that realization, like, well, you know what? I've bought this before, I think. I'm done doing this. I'm done spending money on this game. I've already bought this stuff. But when your whales start to see between the lines, and even they are beginning to say, I'm not going to spend money on this game, or I'm not going to spend money on, X, Y, and Z, there begins to have it snowballs into many, many other problems. Because if your whales leave, you're not making as much money. And then if whales leave, then down the line, content creators are going to leave. Look at Call of Duty and Destiny. They're both seeing content creators completely leave, their respective games. And when you have these things stacking up and your stock is dropping and you're to the point now to where you have to be bought out by another country, or your stock has dipped so low that you're basically more useless on the stock exchange than mom and pop's little bakery down the road, it's painting a very clear picture of where the game industry is headed. The direction that it's going is that, ultimately, give it a few years, but you're probably going to see a lot of these AAA studios really start to dissolve into much tinier teams, or not even just dissolve. You're going to see people leave these companies, start up their own indie games or AA studios, and they're going to produce much better things because you don't have a company that wants to prioritize monetization or scummy tactics just to get people into this game, or giving them AI slop just to save some money because you've already over budgeted for your $400 million game. Instead, you'll have new teams that can produce just as good, if not better, product on a budget of only $1 million, if that. So at the end of the day, yes, Steam has a monopoly, but for a good reason, because a lot of AAA studios have shot themselves in the foot several times over the years by, releasing these exclusive titles on X, Y, or Z platform. Steam has continued to provide a better service, a better product, and people have begun to finally see through the lines, and a lot of that fanboyism is finally starting to fade just a little bit, not a lot, but it is fading. And now we're seeing a shift. And I don't really think AAA can handle this shift, because the only way that they can manage this shift in market demands is to completely alter everything they do. And if they do that, they will upset their investors, and their investors will leave, and that leaves them with nothing. Because without these investors, they're not making any real money. They're constantly losing money. So yes, there's no way they can make this shift unless they change things on every scale of management, from the top to the bottom. So yeah, that was just my little rant. It was just something I keep seeing over and over again, and so I just wanted to talk about it. But you guys let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Is my tinfoil hat on a little bit too tight? Do you guys feel the same way? Let me know. But until then, if you like the video, make sure to give it a like, give me a sub. Really helps me out. Until next time, you guys have a good one, and peace.